How do you compel a multi billion-dollar company to negotiate in good faith with its workers? They say every cup of coffee tells a story, but what sort of story has the cup of coffee at Starbucks been telling? Is it one of corporate power struggles and worker rebellion? Apparently, there has been an ongoing battle between Starbucks and the workers' union concerning the improvement of workers' rights. However, it appears a breakthrough agreement has finally been reached. But despite this recent development, the lingering questions remains. Has Starbucks truly turned over a new leaf? Or is this just a temporary ceasefire in the ongoing war for workers' rights? Will the company live up to its promises and deliver the changes workers have been fighting for? Well, let's find out what's really brewing at Starbucks. Starbucks has long promoted itself as a progressive employer with mouth-watering benefits ranging from healthcare to stock options and educational opportunities. But on the other hand, the company has fought and strongly opposed unionization for decades. Union organizers across the United States accused the company of a strong union busting campaign during the Workers United campaign during 2021 and 2022. Although the company denied allegations of union busting, Starbucks has reportedly cracked down on unionization efforts by its employees, which began 2 years ago in Buffalo, New York, with demands for better pay and more consistent shift patterns. The modern wave of unionization at Starbucks began in Buffalo, New York in 2021. Workers at several stores in the area sought to form a union to address their concerns collectively. This gained national attention as it was one of the first unionization efforts within the company. By 2024, the union had organized nearly 291 stores with close to 7,895 workers. What initially started as a discontent over working conditions led to a broad and highly publicized struggle for labor rights. Subsequently, Starbucks became the target of an unprecedented attempt by trade unions to bring the fight directly to the company's boardroom. The challenger was a coalition of trade unions, the Strategic Organizing Center, SOC, aiming to address what it claimed was severe human capital mismanagement hurting the company's business. After years of intense battles over working conditions, wages, and benefits, the Strategic Organizing Center finally broke new ground by using tactics usually seen in finance to vie for seats on Starbucks' board. Essentially, the SOC took a bold and very unconventional approach by utilizing strategies typically associated with financial entities to address their cause within Starbucks. It employed tactics such as leveraging shareholder activism and proxy voting in order to gain influence over Starbucks' decision-making processes, particularly at the highest levels of corporate governance. Consequently, this was effective and suggested a departure from the traditional labor tactics such as strikes and negotiations. This fight was closely watched on Wall Street because it's the first time a labor group has taken this approach, and by doing so, the SOC is changing how workers fight for their rights, while showing that they can play a much bigger role in corporate decisions. The Strategic Organizing Center, a coalition of North American labor unions, announced that it had nominated 3 candidates for board seats at Starbucks Corporation. Starbucks responded by saying its board's Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee would review the SOC Investment Group's proposed director nominees according to its standard process. The SOC pointed out that the National Labor Relations Board, a federal agency that protects workers' rights, had issued more than 120 complaints against Starbucks in the last 2 years. These complaints included allegations of illegal discipline and firings, store closures to suppress union activity, worker surveillance, and failure to bargain with workers in good faith. This conflict between Starbucks and the workers' union, Workers United, intensified over the past few years. Starbucks faced allegations of anti-union tactics, including retaliation against pro-union employees and creating a hostile work environment for union supporters. These allegations led to investigations and rulings by the National Labor Relations Board against Starbucks. Courts issued orders requiring Starbucks to extend benefits that had previously been denied to unionized stores. These benefits include important financial perks, such as credit card tipping, allowing customers to tip employees using credit cards, and raises that match those given to non-unionized stores. Eventually, the SOC has said it is ending its boardroom fight at Starbucks by withdrawing its 3 nominees for Starbucks board after Starbucks agreed to work toward reaching labor agreements. The withdrawal came a week after Starbucks and Starbucks Workers United announced a framework for discussions on collective bargaining, organizing rights, and the resolution of outstanding litigation. Now is the time to acknowledge the progress that has been made and to allow the company and its workers to focus on moving forward. As such, we are withdrawing our director nominations, SOC said in a statement. The process for bargaining is not clear enough, but it's clear that the news means that at long last, the company has realized it cannot defeat the union. However, the SOC made clear its decision was conditional on Starbucks continuing to work with the union. So what happens next? Unionized baristas already have a national bargaining committee who helped draft bargaining proposals and revise them with the input of thousands of unionized baristas. Those proposals include just cause, seniority projections, the expansion and strengthening of health insurance, expanded paid time off, and a higher base wage with guaranteed annual raises. Each store is its own bargaining unit, so to negotiate a master agreement, the union will presumably reshuffle the committee or elect a new one entirely with representatives from each unionized location. In a statement texted to Restaurant Dive, Starbucks said it appreciated the SOC's decision. The best days of Starbucks are ahead, the company said. We are focused on doing what we do best when we are at our best, bridging to a better future for our partners. Recent developments between Starbucks and its workers' union, Starbucks Workers United, show progress in their ongoing labor negotiations. Both parties have been engaged in intensive bargaining sessions to create a foundational framework for individual store contracts. This move is part of Starbucks' strategy to negotiate contracts store by store rather than a single national contract. One notable improvement by Starbucks to appease the Strategic Organizing Center includes offering unionized employees benefits that were previously withheld. These benefits, introduced in May 2022, include credit card tipping and other perks. Starbucks has also established an environmental partner and community impact board committee to enhance governance and oversight on labor-related issues. The SOC has responded positively to these changes. Following the agreement between Starbucks and SWU, the SOC withdrew its board nominees, satisfied with the progress made. Despite withdrawing their nominations, the SOC remains vigilant and committed to monitoring Starbucks' ongoing approach to labor relations. The SOC said it conferred with Starbucks shareholders following the chain and union's agreement on a path forward and feels that Starbucks has committed to these changes in good faith and intends to repair its relationship with its workers. The organization, which is a minor stakeholder in the coffee company, added that the improved dynamic will enhance performance and shareholder value. The SOC said it still felt that its nominees, Maria Echaveste, Wilma Liebman, and Josh Gottbaum, were qualified to serve on the board, but that it was withdrawing their nominations in acknowledgement of the progress in the relationship between the coffee giant and its organized workers. The relationship between Starbucks and the union remains contentious, but all things considered, a win for the SOC against Starbucks has the potential to alter the balance of employee-employer relationships in corporate America. The fact that they've made the statement that they want to set up a fair process going forward for elections is big, said Michelle Eisen, who has worked at Starbucks since 2010. They've never said those words before. There's a lot of work still to come, but the roadblocks that we've faced are gone, and hopefully other workers who want to organize in this company in the future will not have to face any of that.